Hey everybody, I'm Mr. Steve, and this is a Blender update about IES Lighting. And before I throw a ton of technical jargon at you, if you're a beginner or a professional in the field, this is going to be an absolute game changer and is going to revolutionize IES Lighting as we know it. Because right now in Blender, if you wanted to load a bunch of lights, there's really no point to start from accessing those lights, and we know that JPEGs and PNGs slow down and cause a major bloatware issue with Blender, and it loves to crash or just takes too long to load. Now, as far as IES Lighting and what all this means, you really don't have to know all that, but for a beginner in the field, all the way to a professional or someone who owns and is running a studio, this is for you. Because we've made the IES compatibility add-on, which is going to absolutely be a game changer for Blender 3D. This is going to work in any version from 3.3 all the way to 4.3, and you will be able to import thousands of images at one time. Now you're probably thinking, I don't really need thousands of images, but if you want a list from the IES library.com that has over 800,000 lights by manufacturer, categorized with a complete pagination built out to suit your needs in the 3D viewport, you might want to stick around. There's been over 2 million downloads from this site, and this is the official ground zero for IES Lighting, because the dev for that site, the owner of it, has agreed to collab with myself and Sam to help build the most comprehensive add-on that Blender 3D has ever seen. Well, I won't brag too much. There's some really amazing add-ons out there, but as far as lighting, this one really does take the cake. And let me give you a little technical jargon here. In the world of architectural lighting design and engineering, achieving the perfect balance between aesthetics, functionality, and energy efficiency is a paramount goal. Lighting professionals and designers strive to create captivating and well-lit spaces that enhance the visual experience while meeting the technical requirements of the project. To accomplish this, one tool stands out as a critical element in accurately representing how lights will interact within a specific space. This tool is known as the IES file. And the IES Infinite Lighting add-on is absolutely going to categorize all of these and make it super simple. In just a few clicks, you're going to have lights in the scene. You can control them, black body intensities, the node group, everything's added for you. You really don't have to know much about Blender. If you can push a few buttons and point the mouse and the 3D cursor to a certain spot where you want the light, it's going to be done. Whew, that was a big intro. I really appreciate it if you guys stuck around for it. Now let's go ahead and jump into Blender 4.3, the latest release, and we're going to check out the IES add-on. I'm going to show you all of the magic that it is capable of doing right now. And one more thought, if you guys want to see some of the live work where Sam and I are hammering out some of the details of the add-on, I'm going to put that all the way at the end of the sneak peek tutorial, and you guys can check out some of the live stuff. I'll chop it up so it's really fast. Thanks for watching. All right, everybody, let's get to it. This is the add-on, and I've already been messing around with this file, so what I'm going to do is maybe just delete a couple of these. We'll leave this one for posterity. Now, I'm just going to put the 3D cursor right here. Now, I've already done a mass download, but if you don't know anything about this add-on, this is going to be a little bit of a primer. So if I go in, and let's go to add-ons, because this is where you can control things. In the drop-down for the edit preferences, you'll see some stuff. There'll be an API. You've got to get that from the site. And we're working out something that's going to make sense for everybody, so this isn't like a huge cost. And you'll be able to get your API. Boom. You install it. It'll say API live. Then we can go to light info. We're just going to skip over here. And here's a list of manufacturers with light info. Every single manufacturer is currently in here right now. A lot. There's plenty. So you're going to find every single manufacturer that's available. Now, if we go over here to install, let's just say you've got your API key and you've already got a mass download, all you have to do is come over here to install mass zip. You drop the zip file in, the add-on handles the rest. Then you would click this little button, it's going to install it, and voila. Now I've installed the 3F Felipe SPA. Okay, this is the manufacturer, and when I would click this button, it's going to load this. It's going to say, hey, 98 images were found. You're on page 1. Your display grid is set to 4 by 3. You can do this different. You set it 4 by 4, and then you can increase the grid. And if there's not enough to fill it, you may see a gap if there's not enough on that particular page, and then we can scroll through the different pages. And you can see how nice and fast all of these are loading. This is fantastic. So what I would do is just make this nice and simple. I'm just going to put a 2 by 2, and it doesn't make the add-on too big. So you can kind of do whatever you want. You can have a huge list running down, whatever you want. Now, when you come in here, you can't click on the light that's just displaying it. What you'll do is you click Add IES Nodes. Now, notice we don't have a light here. So what we'll do is we'll click this and say, hey, yeah, I want to add a light. And when you do that, it's going to add just a light. That's all it's doing. When you click OK, if there is no node group on that, it's going to add the node group. Now, this needs a slight offset. We're going to see what we can do to kind of project that append of the light so it's not like right between the mesh face, because that's kind of how they come in at the origin where the 3D cursor is. And so now you're like, okay, this is great. It came in at a black body intensity of whatever. Maybe I want it to be 2500. That looks pretty cool. Now, how do I change this? Well, all you got to do is grab the next light, click this, don't add a light because you've already got one active, and then just click OK, and it's going to do that. And it's going to give you, I think I set it to 5,000 for the black body intensity, but you can do whatever you want. You can change it. Then, of course, you can select these lights to make it easier. They're named, so you'll have the names of them. Now, let's increase what we see here on the page, and I'm going to kind of skip back to page 1. Actually, let's bring the grid down a little bit, and we can kind of scroll through these different pages. And every page should have something on it. If it doesn't, just move forward because there wasn't enough to the way you have it set. Maybe it's not going to load that. It's not a big deal. So here we go. We've got some lights we want to look at, and I'm going to click OK, and it just loads it. It's really that simple. You've got a global illumination here, so you can kind of play around with stuff. You've got the light energy for the selected light. If you want to select this one and bring the energy up or down, you can do that, and you'll have some basic controls. Now, if you do have a camera in the scene and you select that camera as active, you're going to have a camera manager, and it's going to have a few things in it that are going to be pretty standard for what you would see over here. And it's going to be more organized, though, so you don't have to keep looking and dropping things down. There's also going to be some presets for the camera. These may or may not be accurate according to where your camera is, but this is kind of just a quick add just to throw some extra features in quickly. Now, down here, you've got a focus camera, and this is going to just select the first object that the camera has in its view that is closest to the camera. And you've got some basic controls there, nothing special. So, but the big deal is being able to do this, go in, add a light, boom. Now we've got the setup right here, and we can flip the next page. Let's go grab this light, and I'll just load the new light here. And for this one, I'll delete it so we can see this light. And like I said, you can just select them here, and there you go. That's basically the whole add-on. There's not a whole lot to do. It's not a hard add-on to learn at all. It's very simple, and it's powerful enough that it's doing a ton of work behind the scenes. And this has 98 IES files in it, but I've already tested it with a file that had 3,000. It was like cake. It just did it. So, and this is a 3060 NVIDIA, so it's not that fast of a laptop overall, but it's not bad. So there you go, everybody. And when you want to change the black body intensity, you can do that. Get that beautiful cloudless noonday sky look. You can get the look of fluorescent lights and all those other things. And I'll put something either like an image in with the add-on, package it in. I might even put an image in so you guys can just go, hey, here's the spectrum for IES. This is what a match flame looks like. This is what a noonday sky looks like with no clouds. And then everything in between. So this is your sneak peek, everybody, and this will be available soon. We're working out a few of the kinks, not only with connectivity of the site, which actually works seamlessly right now, but we want everything to be perfect. And stay tuned because this add-on is going to be out soon. I appreciate you guys watching. Drop in the comments if you've ever used IES Lighting. If you haven't, drop that in the comments and let us know. And study it, Google it, because you're going to be able to do a lot more and get realistic lighting like you've never seen. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, time for some collab work. Join in, everybody. Hey, good morning or good afternoon in the UK, mate.
How you doing? You alright?
I'm great, man. It's good to hear from you. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just gonna go live to quickly show you
For
what we're
sure.
working with, so you know you can see my screen.
I can see it. Yes, sir.
Alright, I did just find a bug I've got to fix, but I'm gonna do that. This stops that. What this does as well, it also checks the internet for his manifest manufacturers, and it will check against the one we're going to ship with. So we're going to ship this with an asset, which is let's just show you here. Yeah. So the manufacturers here is a list of the manufacturers. They have a unique ID, name, and then a description. Not all of them have a description, but they're in there. I did find something on his website that's broke that I need to tell him. The favorites, I favorited about 3 things, and when I went to the favorites, it said, hey, these are one favorite, and then I had 2 that weren't showing up, and I think that's something he needs to fix, but it did show up in the API, so that's good. But anyway, so what it does is it checks this folder, this file, should I say, the manufacturer's lists. It checks that against his API online. If he can't get to his API online, it will just go, okay, I'm going to create and use what I've already got. If, however, we check his API online and we find, hey, he's now got manufacturer 189, it will add folders for all their manufacturers and update our localized document to match the latest version. So what it does is it basically makes these folders for you. So I'll go through, and if he has a new manufacturer called ZZZ, it will create a folder in here called ZZZ. It will add it to that list. So it kind of updates itself automatically. Every time it loads, it will check for that data and then basically create the given manufacturer. So that's pretty cool. It doesn't need to manually be done by anyone. And then all that data's there, and the end user just has their folders. So, like for instance, anything they've new in here just becomes a new menu. So that's this section here. Let's go over the preferences because that's where kind of. So the pagination's all in here. Works pretty fucking good if you ask me. I mean, if I go to here.
Oh, I've seen it.
So it's 30.
It's your brilliance of 2025 already. Blood, sweat, and tears for sure.
Yeah, I've put 30 as a max. Now, I'm going to be honest, every now and again I've noticed that one image may not show. I have no idea why that is. If I shift R, it will show up the next time. So I'm just wondering if it may not be an export issue, it may just be a dev issue, but it doesn't, it's not done at the moment, it's all showing up here. And then as I say, you can have the amount. I did maxed it out at 30. I don't know if you agree with that and want to change it. I think
30 per.
30 items per. This is pretty cool, right? And then
I mean, 30 is fine. I mean, not everybody's working with a huge monitor either. So,
exactly.
I mean, I'm on a laptop, so yeah.
Yes. So I think 30 is a good limit. I mean, you only need 30 items. You don't really want 100 because you're going to keep scrolling, and that just pushes this down further. But so this kind of works. And I'm going to figure the bug out. Whereas if I go to lighting technology, it's going to kind of say here, you got a warning, something's not in the scene, which obviously it's doing a recursion now. So it's trying to look for something and doesn't, right? So I think it's either the pagination that's going, hey, I want to pick up 30 items and I have nothing. So I need to just, I'll
Mm,
figure that out.
got you.
That's a new
Got to compare amounts or
image.
something to what is actually in the scene and capable of, or whatever's in the folder or whatever you're pulling in from the server.
Yeah, I'll sort that out.
Yeah,
All
cool.
right, so the next thing I wanted to show you is this kind of API. I'm going to go ahead and just delete some of my API here because that's the sort of guy I am. Now I get an error. You know straight away, you know your API is not correct because
Nice.
I'm pinging the server with my API and it's going to give me back an error, basically. It's going to give me back something that I'm saying, if I don't have this inside of the received JSON file, then there's an error on my API, it doesn't work. So how this works over here on this side is you have your install mass. So what this does is it takes the zip file that you download, so you can go to this website and you can go to your mass download section. You can choose a manufacturer, so you can choose Baker, whoever, page number you want, and then you click download, and then it downloads that whole, like, I think it's 100 per page it's got, so if there's 500 lines, you'd have 1 to 5 pages. That downloads a zip. With that zip file, I then use the 25 to reference against the manufacturer number 25, and then that pulls in and knows where it's to go. So all of these automatically will load into the correct folders once I've fixed the manufacturer UUID list. I think I broke that somehow in updating this so that it works on startup of the add-on installed, not just start of the add-on being loaded. So yeah, I will repair that somehow, and yeah, I'll fix that in a second too. So then you have, as I say, so you have the mass install, you have the install by hash number from this website, and then you've got a single file install. Now, I'm not too pleased with this. I mean, it opens the manufacturer's folder and you can drag and drop. However, if they just drag the IES file in here, our add-on will not register anything because all we're doing is we're looking for a JPEG really. And we're saying whatever JPEG we have, we're using that as our reference up here. And then we're just matching that number with an IES, where are we? With an IES folder in the same location to apply. Now, I didn't go this way around because obviously we're building the UI. We want a JPEG in there. And the reason I'm only doing JPEGs is if I didn't, instead of it saying that we have, for instance, 100 found in this folder, it would say we have 200 because technically we do have 200 files in there, just 100 of IES files and 100 of JPEG. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, so 200 items. So that's how that works. So there's a few bits I'm skeptical about, as I say, which is we can allow people to kind of, select a folder here, the bagger, open it, open the bagger, and then if they have the 2 files. So what we may need to do is say to people when if you're browsing and you're going to do it manually and you don't have an API, you probably have to come in here, download that file, and then save that image, and then, upload the 2 together, if that makes sense. So you download the IES, you save the image, you grab both of them, and then you'd have to go and populate them into the right manufacturer's folder. So you choose whoever you've got, pick that button, and then drag and drop manually into here. So that's that one. Yeah, exactly. It's just the drop downs are there.
Nah, you just make it work. I'll clean it up and then I'll add my code.
As I say, I tried to make this really simple. So the API section, which is there, then you have the install section, which is here, then the light info, which is there. So yeah, I tried to make it as simple as possible. But any changes you want to implement, just go. And then I just added this on top of yours, so that should all be the same as what it was. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So
Awesome. Well, man, you did a lot of heavy lifting on this one, man. I really appreciate it.
yeah, no problem. So
Piece this thing
once I got
together.
into it, it was quite simple to do once I got into it.
I'm excited to see the feedback from this because this takes icon galleries to a whole new level because it's not an icon gallery, it's a page nation. So, and Blender doesn't function well with the other ones because it's like you're always inputting PNGs or JPEGs, and it gets bloated, and then it just hogs all the UI resources, and it's not good. And there's that 1 second lag that I just know would just grate with everybody. It's that 1-2 second lag sometimes when you're trying to load.
If you try to load all of these items at once into the gallery, if you're loading 100 or you've got 200 lights, that's hanging for a good 5 minutes. And
yeah.
No one wants that. Whereas at the moment, you can see we can go from beggar to there, and then we can go from flip and instant.
Oh yeah. Oh, the load on the icon gallery was 5 seconds, and that's just treacherous because you almost feel like you want to just get up and do something while you're waiting for Blender.
Exactly, and this is just almost like it's pretty much instant. As soon as you click on anything, it's there, and this will just give it a totally different look. And as we've noticed, if it's got 200 files, as I say, I could probably load 50 in the icon gallery from setup itself, and that's taking 2 minutes to generate each time you go from one gallery to another. So jumping from each manufacturer, it's going to be smooth as. So yeah, it's there. I'll fix these 2 items because they should be generating what I need. I'm just wondering why it's not. It could be this code here actually. That's the issue. So just clean that up a bit. But yeah, I'm gonna work out why this is kind of messing up. And once I've cleaned them 2, I'll send them over to you, and then just see what you want. And it may be worth, as I mentioned, us just having a meet with him to see what his vision is now that we've done this, and because I don't know what you discussed, if you discussed about selling it or like whatever we're doing with it, however we're gonna try and market it. But yeah, it might be worth just kind of showing them the finished product once this is all done and how it works.
For sure. Yeah, no, I'll send him something and see what his availability is. Get all 3 of us on a collab.
Yeah.
20-30 minutes or something, and see what makes everybody happy.
Exactly. Brilliant. All right, well, I'll crack with these now, and then I'll come back to you in a bit once it's done.
All right, Sam. Appreciate you, man. Good working with you. And 2025 is exciting. Gonna hit the ground running with the biggest add-on drop period. So
that's it.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. I'll catch you in a bit, Steve.
All right, sir.
Thanks, mate.